If you're anything like me, you're probably finding these AI videos pretty crazy, especially how realistic they're getting lately. I mean, look at this.
What rhythm was it till you saw me?
Lies! Propaganda from a glitter club!
Groove, man. You can't even
Gentlemen, hey, let's calm down!
The thing is, it's not just me and you who are worried about this type of thing. In Hollywood, those guys are pretty concerned too, which is quite ironic given a lot of their acting feels quite artificially generated at times.
And enough champagne to fill the Nile.
Specifically, I'm talking about this girl, Tilly Norwood, an AI-generated actress that you may have heard of recently.
She's Hollywood's new it girl. Her name is Tilly Norwood.
Let's get to know each other, and thanks for watching.
Her photos and videos are all over social media. But Tilly is already causing a major controversy. Why? Because she's not real. She's AI generated.
Now, this has been about as popular as Harvey Weinstein or the Woman's Refuge. Quite a lot of the Hollywood liberal elite have crawled out the woodwork to comment on this.
It's a little bit of an unfair advantage, but you know what? Bring it on.
Yeah.
Because you can always tell them from us.
No, are you serious? That's an AI? Good Lord, we're screwed. That is really, really scary.
Now, I do understand why people are worried about this, but I actually don't think they should be. I think in the long term, this whole AI actor-actress thing will be proven to be overblown. Let's have a little look at why I think that'll be the case.
You can't keep getting away with it!
Emotion is at the core of art, and drama in general. It's why scenes like this speak so much to us. Because humans are very empathetic towards one another, we identify with these characters, even though they're not real. Each actor in this scene gives a good physical performance that tells you exactly how each of those characters feel. This gives the audience emotional connection. Even though you know these people are fake, you still feel something for the characters. One of the key arguments that keeps popping up time and time again with AI stuff is the emotional connection that people feel with it. Or in the case of AI, the lack of connection that you feel towards it emotionally. This fight scene that you're watching right now is AI. I mean, it's not particularly good, but as soon as you know it's AI, you completely switch off. Your brain tells you that you're not invested anymore. The simple knowledge of knowing that there were no people in place to film this scene absolutely ruins it for you.
We already lost Tony, so keep your radios on. Something is out there.
These AI models and artificially generated slop don't evoke any emotion, due to the simple fact that nothing in this scene is capable of feeling emotion. They evoke a certain novel sense of wow factor, where you're like, man, that's pretty convincing.
Okay, I'm taking these.
Boy, dumb it up. Bring those back.
Whoa, gotta go.
Stop. Give them back.
Nope, too late.
Hey, come back here.
Free art, baby.
But apart from that, it's hard to say that it actually makes you feel anything.
Put it in park now.
I'm sorry, officer. I just...
Don't move. Latch is locked. Open it right now.
Counterpoint to this that people might point to would be like animated movies or video games, where there's not literally a human on-screen presence.
Close calls have we had?
Well, we seem to be doing all right so far.
And now you'll be doing even better with Tommy.
But that ignores the simple fact that there are people behind the scenes working on it, real people, either the writers, the voice actors, etc. You still feel that human connection, even though there's no one human on screen.
I guess I'm afraid.
Arguably, this is the most famous scene from Red Dead Redemption 2. And it's so big because you can feel the emotion that the voice actor puts into Arthur Morgan's performance. And even though you know he's not real, you know that that voice actor channeled that sort of pain that he feels.
All them years, Dutch, for this snake.
Oh, be quiet, cowpoke.
Actually, unlike many of those things, Tilly Norwood has no emotional connection with the audience because you know she's not real. Once the smoke and mirrors trick wears off, you're just left with this hyper-real caricature of what an idealized actress should look like. I think one of the key things about it actually is that people don't want perfection from actors.
You're lying. I never hit you. You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
Some of the most absolutely iconic performances and memes that have come from certain movies and TV shows have been down to things that have either been improvised on the spot or mistakes that people have done that have resulted in a certain action.
You talking to me? Well, then who the hell else are you talking to? Talking to me?
Midnight Cowboy, for example, when Dustin Hoffman walks out in front of the taxi. The taxi drive, that wasn't scripted, the whole I'm walking here thing.
Hey, I'm walking here. I'm walking here. Up yours, you son of a bitch. You don't talk to me that way. Get out of here. about that. Actually, that ain't a bad way to pick up insurance, you know.
But today, that is like one of the things that people outside of the US, and probably in the US, associate with New York City, right? That was something growing up, even though I'd never been to that city. I associated with that. It had such a strong resonance. These golden moments are the culmination of imperfect beings, all being mashed together in this chaotic universe we live in. These AI firms that promise that they can make these emotional, dramatic movies are absolutely kidding themselves because they're robotic and soulless by definition. The perfection of these machines is what makes them such a bad idea in this sort of creative world.
Can a robot turn a canvas into a beautiful masterpiece?
Can you?
I think a pretty good analogy to talk about this is the Olympics. If I think of the Olympics and why people watch it, it's because people want to see like the top peak performance that is physically possible from humans specifically. If we wanted to see an object move 100 meters in like a second, we could just watch a fucking rocket launch. We're interested in that human component of it, to see what humans can do.
Yes or no? In all 7 of your Tour de France victories, did you ever take banned substances or blood dope?
Yes.
Arguably, I watch a lot of movies purely because they're bad and they're very imperfect. If I look at movies like, well, whatever the fuck Neil Breen is doing.
The pure majesty of nature.
I think in my head, like, why am I watching this? But then the entertainment value comes from the fact that someone, a real guy, has sat there, written, directed, and acted this thing out, and it's terrible. But, you know, like, props to the guy. I'm buying his movies, I'm watching them. Because I technically have the same logical capacity as Neil Breen. It's baffling to me when I watch his movies. When I see awkward AI stuff, it doesn't baffle me as much because I know it's a machine pulling random things together. It doesn't have that same magical quality that seeing something truly disastrous like The Room has.
I used to know a girl. She had a dozen guys. One of them found out about it, beat her up so bad she ended up in a hospital on Guerrero Street.
What a story, Mark.
Yeah, you can say that again.
There's no doubt that you can make an AI actress who is beautiful and, you know, nice to listen to, who can look good in a scene, and who can deliver the dialogue exactly like you want it to. But I would argue that's not the heart and soul of cinema. A lot of great moments, a lot of key moments of cinema have came from that.
Why are you wearing glasses?
Reading.
Reading?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know you could read.
This is AC. I have OJ in the car. Okay, where are you? Please, I'm coming up the 5 freeway.
The reason that some people like actors or actresses is their own personal imperfections, their own life outside of the movie industry. And while I don't really care about that shit, there are a lot of people that do. There's a whole fucking industry about just getting celebrity gossip and that type of thing.
Sydney Sweeney is addressing the backlash she faced following her mom's Western-themed birthday party. On Friday, the Euphoria actress reacted to negative comments that she received after photos from the surprise bash seemed to show guests wearing Trump hats and t-shirts.
If you're a boomer like I am, you probably remember Mr. and Mrs. Smith from the noughties and the whole sort of controversy that came around Brad Pitt and Angelina sleeping together, because she was with this guy, Billy Bob Thornton, at the time, right?
He looks sexy anytime, but I like him first thing in the morning.
The publicity that this affair made arguably sold the movie. It did really well on the back of it. That literally does not exist with an AI-generated media. And that's because since they have no representation in the real world, we don't really care about them as people. They're objects in quite a literal sense of the word. The only thing that an AI actor or actress can generate outside of the industry is rage-bait articles that people are posting online, right? Like, there would be no personal interest in their lives, and I would argue that's a really big part of showbiz. While he wasn't an actor, can anyone really say that Kanye West wouldn't have been as big if he didn't do all the crazy shit that he did in his life?
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time.
parasocial connection that people have to these performers are a big reason why people go to watch their movies. One of the reasons that A Star Is Born was pretty notable at the time was that people had this whole are they having an affair thing with Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. And again, while that shit kind of annoys me, it is a large part of why the sort of industry is so big worldwide. People get really involved in these parasocial relationships. You can go all the way back to like Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio and see this exact same thing, you know?
I can be smart when it's important, but most men don't like it.
Now look, I'm not delusional. I'm well aware that there's a whole AI love industry, and there are a lot of people who do feel parasocial relationships with these sort of AI chatbots, these generated girlfriends, and that stupid shit that Elon and Mark Zuckerberg keep trying to jam down your throats.
You know, I test a lot of curse tech for TheVerge.com. Most of the time, it's just a funny little existential crisis, but this one left me truly feeling like the hottest shower on the planet couldn't make me feel clean again.
Make no mistake that there will be an industry one day based around scandals of fake AI characters and fake AI actors and actresses. It will exist. I'm just saying I don't think it'll overtake the human one.
You've been invading my privacy.
What? How?
It's in your diary. Hey, so, is this good for wasps?
No, it kills them.
The AI content will be continued to think of as trash slop no matter how good it gets, and the human aspect will always be considered to be the superior one. I truly believe that. Again, maybe the technology will get there and you could put these people into like a robot body or some shit like Blade Runner, but I think that's quite far off in my opinion.
Hi, I'm Saul Goodman. Did you know that you have rights? The Constitution says you do.
Let's talk about the big elephant in the room. I'm not talking about Donald Trump and the Epstein list. I'm talking about the copyright infringement that AI firms are clearly doing. And look, this is a difficult one because companies like Disney and Nintendo, they sue people so often that it's kind of hard to feel bad for them now that the shoe's on the other foot and these AI firms are bullying them.
Jedi Knights, the Guardians of Peace, will clash with the agents of the dark side in a struggle that will determine the fate of the entire galaxy. This summer, witness the legend of the Force begin. Star Wars, Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
There's a landmark legal case just waiting to happen about this. It's coming. It might not be this year, it might not be next year, but one day there will be a case so big that it has big implications, not just in the US or the movie industry, but across all industries. Because these AI firms are so in bed with the government right now, particularly under Trump, they have no sort of incentive to try and curb this sort of intellectual property theft.
In the Kingdom of Hyrule, Link sets out to rescue Princess Zelda from the evil sorcerer Ganondorf. His journey takes him through ancient temples, dense forests, and towering mountains.
But don't worry actually, because this is exactly how they'll defeat themselves. Because their own material is trained on other things, and it's not really original, they'll never be able to build a brand with the individual AIs they have, because we could easily steal it, you and I, or any other person who can operate any of these generative models.
You got to remember that with these AI models, when your knowledge base, when your training data comprises the entirety of the internet, there's a lot of really bad stuff on the internet, which we all know. So when you don't put in the right guardrails, or when you remove guardrails, it's garbage in, garbage out. And I think
because of the legal implications, AI tech firms can't produce anything controversial in the sense that they can produce like political imagery, etc. I know that you can break past that and people do publish stuff like that, but the pretty simple fact remains that most mainstream, and that would include, you know, any sort of potential AI actress, AI actor, would have to conform to that same censorship. Whereas, you know, a real individual in the real world can make an active decision not to do that.
I'm not going to say what race, what people, doctor, and what hospital, and what media went to. We know I can't say that. It was a Jewish doctor.
Even though you can steal the likeness of real people, they still exist in the real world. And because we're not quite at that peak dystopia level just yet, people aren't born legal entities. They don't have to follow laws. They choose to actively. So is the industry cooked? Probably not, in my opinion. I mean, this Tilly Norwood thing itself is just a big publicity stunt from this like Dutch BBC writer comedian. So it's hard to tell if it's even a real thing, you know?
Particle 6 founder Aline van der Velden previously defended Tilly, but clarified in a later Instagram post that the creation, quote, is not a replacement for a human being.
I do think that if you're a computer animator or you work in like color correction or, you know, any sort of editing in the industry, I think you probably should be more worried about that. If you work with more technical aspects that can be replaced by AI. For now, by pure virtue of being human and existing in a physical space, I think that AI acting is probably not a big deal. Is the movie industry cooked? Tell me in the comments, like, subscribe, whatever, and I'll see you next time.